Hope everyone's been having a wonderful week thus far and everyone's been enjoying their February as we are the 6th of the second month of the year. Now, that being said, I could name a few Saints and Rams fans, to be honest, that aren't quite particularly happy with the way the last month has turned out. But it is better than most us Montrealers that have to live with days that go from minus 16 to plus 6, only to plummet back down to minus 16. But who am I kidding over here? I am neither a weatherman nor a sports journalist, which I find quite ironic because I did study sports journalism in university, only to give into it a year and a half later because I realized that with a name like Sarkisian, ESPN would probably not hire me as their leading sports journalist. Then again, I do like to see the lighter of things, so I told myself perhaps my name wouldn't be the end of the world. But then I told myself, shit, who you lying to? You've never played sports in your life. Why on earth would the biggest sports company hire you to be their sports journalist when you know shit all about nothing? Seeing as now Tony Romo is probably one of the better sports journalists and he sucked at playing football, I might have lied and tricked myself. But we are here. We are at the Fatual Science Podcast Room. We got a great show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for anyone who has still been following me. We are on our third video. Congratulations to myself. Thank you very much to the guests that I've had. And sadly enough, mentioning that, as you guys can notice, I am back to being alone, which is more than fine because when I am alone, I do what I do best, and that is rant, get angry, and talk a whole lot of shit. So get ready, guys. Fasten your seatbelts. And I mean literally, anyone who is listening to this in a car, please fasten your seatbelts. Roads are slippery. We got a great show for you guys. We're going to talk about a very fun topic today. I'm going to be talking about what ifs and I wishes and I want tos and anyone who has a hard time finishing, finishers. Anyone who starts a project gives it up 50% in. Anyone who starts a journey gives it up 5%, 10% in. Whatever it is, we're going to be talking about that today. It's going to be a great topic. And near the end, I've reserved a little segment for you guys. I'm going to give you guys some positive day ending or starting topics. So without further ado, got our mugs ready. Mine says nice because I am feeling rather nice. I'm wearing my pink blazer. If anyone doesn't find this color pink, that's also more than fine. I am colorblind. I've accepted it. I don't have a problem with it. So without further ado, I want to get right into the topic, guys. I'll make today's video a little bit shorter than it usually is. We won't be going into the 40-minute conversations. We're going to keep it nice and simple. I don't want to go too all over the place. I just want to speak from the bottom of my heart, and I want to speak from my personal experience more than anything else. I find the complacency that people have nowadays to embark on a journey and then and by journey I'm speaking vastly, whatever it is, whether it's, again, we've rambled about this so many times, but whether that is your own personal growth, whether that's starting your own cooking channel or starting your own art project or painting something or doing something. So many people take the initial 9 steps. You guys take the toughest steps. You guys convince yourselves that you want to do it, and then when it comes time to actually do it, so many people flail and they flake and then they have a hard time finishing. And I find that astonishing because the one thing that bothers me the most in all of this is imagine the type of world we would be living in if all of these great people who have achieved the things they have achieved never ended up finishing. The brain works in an amazing way, guys. If your brain is telling you to do something, and if you've already taken 5 out of the 6 steps to do such a thing, why are you stopping at the 6th one? And as you guys can see from my tone of voice, I am trying my damn bestest right now to keep this at a low decibel, to not get angry, to not yell, because I understand the struggle that people have with finishing. Because as noted before I started any of this, I too didn't finish what I started when I was in school, but still I am here now, pursuing my goals and doing what I want to do. And just the other day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I told him that I regretted. And it wasn't the right word to use in the moment, but I said it, I told him that I regretted spending 5 years of my life doing bodybuilding. Because where I am now in life, I understand that wasn't what I needed. To which he replied to me, you can't regret something that you did. You shouldn't regret something that you start because it gives you the opportunities. It makes you the person that you are. This being said, I wouldn't be the person that I am today if I hadn't followed through with what I started. I know so many people right now might be like, what the hell is the correlation with you saying starting something in your bodybuilding career? But the correlation, what all of this is, when I started my bodybuilding career, I wasn't in shape. Yes, given the fact I am not in shape now, neither. But when I started, I was overweight, and if I would have flailed, and if I would have quit when it was right the time to start, or when it was the time where I first freaking started eating broccoli with chicken and steamed rice, if I would have quit on that first journey, I wouldn't have done 5 years of it. I wouldn't have met the people that I met. I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now because I wouldn't have developed into the person that I am today. You know what I'm saying? If you guys have heard it so many times, if Bill Gates never did what he did, or if Jeff Bezos never started what he started, or if Michael Jordan never played basketball, but it's the truth. You guys are living in a what if mind state, and the world, unfortunately, the world doesn't work that way. The world keeps revolving, and if you keep stuck in that what if mind state, you will never truly grow to become the person that you can potentially become. And the saddest thing in this world is realizing that cemeteries are full of dead ambitions and people that could have been. Imagine if famous scientists never came up with the ideas, and the algorithm, and mathematicians never came up with the numbers they came up with, and we wouldn't be living in the world we are living in right now. That all that to sum it up to the fact that, and I know it's so much more exaggerated, but it's really not at the end of the day. Because once again, it comes down to the fact that if you have already started the mental conversation, and if you were like, okay, I want to start doing this, and I want to start doing that, but and then you flail, and then you quit halfway through it, it comes to the same thing, because you are eliminating the potential person you are becoming, and you are withholding back not only yourself but everyone around you from the potential of who you can become. Because in that moment you might not see who you can become, but the person you can and will become following the stuff that you want to do is so much greater, guys. To think about where you can be if you actually go through with the things you want to go through. Like, so many people that I know that have started something, it's as simple as saying that, like, you don't just get in the car, start driving, and then stop in the middle of the road and then just walk out of the car and be like, okay, that's it, I've done my driving. No. If you started driving with the ambition, with the purpose of going somewhere, if you've had that drive, why stop the drive midway? And this is where it bothers me, because so many people like to look for that motivation, but that motivation is already there. You already got in the car. You already started the car. The thought process has already started. You as a person have already told yourself that this is something I want to do. And then you've taken certain steps to get to there. Let's say there's 10 steps to be taken, and you've taken 8 of them. And when it comes to the last 2 steps, for some reason, so many people are content with stopping, which leaves me to wonder why. What is it? Is it a fear? Are you not sure that you'd be able to finish it? But then what good is it to not start it, because you already haven't done it regardless? It's like never taking your shot, but because you're scared to miss. But if you don't take your shot, you've still missed it. And I know that sounds so tacky, and you guys have heard it a million times, but I feel like you guys still need to hear it, because so many of you have a hard time accepting it. Like, I'm not going to speak highly of myself, but if I had never gotten out of my way to get the table, to get the poster done, to buy the microphone, to start contacting people, to start having people come over here and sit down and talk, then maybe the year and a half that I spent it in journalism would have gone to waste. But I am still here. I am still here fulfilling something that is dear and true to me. I know so many friends that when they started their fitness journeys, they were not in shape. One of my closest friends, I remember the first time I ran into him 6 years ago, and I'll call him out, I'll say by name, Claude Cowett, when I ran into him 6 years ago. 6 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, this guy told me that he would be winning competitions. He wasn't in the greatest of shapes. Yes, given he used to play football. But he wasn't in the best of shapes. And if you guys go check him out now, go check him out on social media. I will post his social media. Go check him out now, ladies and gentlemen. If he's winning national shows, he's winning regional shows, he's putting in the work, because he started the drive and he never gave in. And all this to say, I feel like we all start on an equal playing field. We all have the same opportunities. Yes, some people are born with more money, some people are born in better predicaments, but we are in great majority. And whoever is listening to this podcast, I can safely say that you are in a first world country. Therefore, you have access to the resources. Therefore, you have access to this. Therefore, to a certain extent, you are either watching it through a telephone or through a computer, and either way you have spent money. Therefore you have a certain amount of money. And if you can't pursue your dreams because it is a question of money, maybe it's more a question of prioritizing. Maybe it's more a question of you saying you want to be doing something, but in the reality of it, it's not something that you want to truly be doing, which there is no problem with. But that is something that you have to accept. You cannot go around saying, "Oh, I wish I had done this," or "What if I had done that?" Because the thought process is already there. You already planted the seed. You just gave up on watering it. The tree doesn't grow from one day to another. Neither does your goal. It takes time. It takes steps. It takes nurturing it. It takes going on your knees and digging and trying hard and feeding it and giving all your energies, even on rainy days, even on days where you find it hard to commit to that goal. It's still what it takes. If you take 100 shots at something and you only score 50 of them, you still scored half of them. You still did more than what you would have done if you had never started taking your shots. And I'm throwing exaggerated numbers. Maybe you're a great shooter, and maybe you're the worst shooter in the world. Maybe you are. Maybe you only get 1 out of 100 done. But at least you still committed to that one. At least you got that one done when you wouldn't have beforehand. It's not, people have to stop. We need to stop comparing ourselves to a lot of other people and saying, yeah, but I'm scared because like I won't be able to do it such and such and so and so. But it's not how this world works. You have your own goals and you have your own ambitions. You have to go at it with your own rate and at your own pace, but just go at it. Don't hide from it. Don't pretend like you want to start it. And it's not a question of pretending, because some of you really want to start it. And I don't know if it's a question of monetary or whether it's time, but some of the same people that say they want to start something and then they come back and say, shit, dude, I don't have time for it, or I'm not okay financially right now, are the same people that still go out. You guys are still going out. You guys are still partying. And some of you, and it's okay. I'm not here to sit around and judge anybody, but don't tell yourself and don't tell the people around you that you want to be starting something and then ask for a pity party when you don't finish it. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to point out anyone. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. But if this message resonates to you, maybe take it as an example that there's steps that you have to take. There's things that have to be done. And sometimes you have to change things. You have to move things around. You have to be okay with sacrificing A to get B because B is closer to your goal or it takes you closer to your goal. And it all comes back down to living in the what if mind state. The what if mind state kills ambitions. It kills goals, it kills dreams, and it kills results. Get out of it. What if I could be a great chef? Be a great chef. Shit. What if I could be the next greatest athlete? Chances are, if you're older than 21, it's probably too late for that. But hey, I know so many people that started late and they are where they are now. I know people that started their amateur boxing careers late and they are where they are now. I know people that started mixed martial arts late and they are where they want to be now. Guys, it's never too late. It's only too late when you remove yourself from the dream, and leave it to a what if, or a maybe, or I wish, or if only. Guys, these words should be removed from your vocabulary. They should not be part of your day-to-day vocabulary because it makes you lazy and it makes you attract more lazy people. And when there's 2 lazy people in the same group, nothing positive can come up from that. I apologize once again. I'm not out here to insult anyone or talk down on anyone, but the reality of the fact remains that if you're surrounding yourself with the people that believe in the what if mentality, and it's not of choice, I'm not gonna lie, anyone who doesn't believe in the what if mentality, doers, anyone who is constantly doing or achieving something, will not surround themselves with someone who's in a what if mentality, because that what if mentality is poisonous. Surround yourself, if you're stuck in the maybe or in the what if, surround yourself with someone that's doing, and then see how things change. See how taking the strides to do it change. I'm only saying this because I speak for myself, guys. If I had never started my fitness journey in the beginning, and if I would have stuck to the what if, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have now. I wouldn't know the people that I know now. I wouldn't be doing the stuff that I'm doing now. And come to think about it, I am, and this sounds tacky and it's just personal more than anything else, but it is my podcast, so I feel the need that I can say this. I am the happiest that I have been ever right now because I am fulfilling my life to the fullest that I could be fulfilling now. And I wouldn't be here if I would have still been stuck in the what if. If I would have still been stuck in the what if I start my own like podcast, or I shouldn't because so many people are doing it. What if I start this? But it's get out, just do it. I am going to start my own podcast. I am going to start my fitness journey. I am going to go back to school. I'm going to start playing sports. I'm going to ask this person out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Just do it. Get into a doer mentality. Nothing gets done if you keep saying what if. What if is only going to get you what if results. Doing will get you the results you're looking for. That's my rant for today, guys. That's my tantrum for today. But as promised, I have decided to do a weekly thing where I dedicate the last potential 5 minutes. I don't know how long it's going to take. I have 3 articles. The last potential 5 minutes into bringing you guys what I like to call wacky news of the week. And why would I be doing this is because if you're like me and if you're sick and tired of scrolling through news channels and constantly seeing the same negative shit, this person got killed, this got that got that, everyone's sad, everyone's dying, it's super negative and it's tiring and it's gloomy and it's draining. And I don't know if you've realized, but look outside your window, most of the days it is gloomy enough as it is. February is not the prettiest of months, but I want to offer you guys some of the funny and fun and happy and heartwarming news from around the world. I'm going to get some, today I have 3 like I noted. I'm going to get you guys some articles here and there, and I want to talk about it and I want to bring it up, and maybe it'll put a smile on somebody's face, and maybe it'll give a reason to generate conversation, and maybe more people will look at the positive out of things. So the first one I want to talk about off the bat, and I'm already cracking a smile because I find it extremely ridiculous, is I don't know if anyone heard, this just came out like yesterday. So McDonald's in New Zealand is starting a new thing where they want to be giving books with their Happy Meals. Now, I don't know about you, but books and Happy Meals is already a fuck up for me. I'm sorry. If I'm a 6-year-old, 5-year-old, 4-year-old, I don't know how many year olds eat McDonald's at a Happy Meal nowadays. But if I'm a kid, chances are I don't want to get a book out of my Happy Meal. And if you're a parent, chances are you shouldn't be taking your kids to get their education from the same place they get their chicken nuggets from, because it is, I apologize for that, jeez, it is not a good combination, ladies and gentlemen. McDonald's should not be the sole place where your kids get their education from. I think the Happy Meal should stay a Happy Meal. That's my personal opinion. Give the kids their toys, give the kids their little assemblable Pokemon or whatever the hell they give them nowadays. Don't give kids books. Come on. You know damn well for a fact ain't no kid gonna read a book that's gonna come out of a greasy cardboard where they had chicken nuggets inside. But that's just my opinion. It is my show, and it's all opinion based. 1% is still facts. Number 2 we want to go into is this one's just plain outright ridiculous. So this happened on February the 1st, so the first of the month. So California deputies helped a sea lion find its way back into the ocean. Now, I don't know if any of you know what a sea lion is. A sea lion is a freaking humongous seal looking like blubbery thing that lives in the ocean and occasionally cruises around on the coastline. What the flying fuck is a sea lion doing on the side of the highway? And I only say highway because it is there. And let me tell you, quote unquote, what the most popular headliner on this was. You never know what your day will look like when you put on the uniform. Today it was one of our local elephant seals that needed help finding his way home. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is why the United States of America is the cream of the cream when it comes to ridiculous, outright dumbness. That's like saying you are on your way driving to work on the 15, for anyone who lives in Montreal, Quebec primarily, because I'm assuming the 7 people that still watch this podcast are from Montreal. That's like if you are on your way headed to work and you're on the 15 and you look to your left or to, I don't know which direction you're looking at, geez, and you see a freaking grizzly bear. That's a bit exaggerated. I know sea lions aren't grizzly bears, but if you see a grizzly bear with 3 Laval police officers escorting it back into the woods or trying to feed it, trying to take it to the salmon that it was trying to feed for. California and the United States of America. Extremely funny. And the last one that I want to talk about dates a little bit back further into January 29 actually. So just listen to the headline on this one, and if anyone watches the TV show The Office, you guys are going to find this extremely funny. Mechanic saves woman's life using CPR techniques he learned from The Office. If you guys don't see the problem between all of this off the bat, if you are certified in CPR, you do understand that a TV show is probably not the best one to get your certification nor your techniques from, let alone the office, ladies and gentlemen. So this happened in Arizona. So Crossley Scott, off the bat with a name like that, you know he's watching The Office. 21-year-old says he was test driving a car for his job when he pulled up next to a woman on the highway who seemed to be leaning over on her steering wheel. Scott said he knocked on the window with a rock to check on the woman's pulse. She wasn't breathing, and then he proceeded to perform the staying alive rendition of how The Office teaches people to do CPR. So if none of you have seen it, I will try my best to tag it on the video. So what it is essentially is Michael Scott gets everyone in the office, and they call a CPR teacher, practitioner, to come teach him how to do CPR. And then she explains to them that you guys have to be singing the staying alive tune as you do the heart pulses. And so this little genius of a man decided to do exactly so. And ironically enough, he did help save the life of this woman. So I guess not all is bad in news, and some Americans are actually smarter than we like to tell them they are. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I like to keep this podcast short, clean, easy going. No need to get mad. No need to yell. Had a great time. I appreciate everyone who's been listening. I appreciate all the feedback I've been getting. Still looking into new guests. Been getting a lot of feedback. Been getting a lot of questions. Been getting a lot of people asking if they can come up on the show. And I appreciate that wholeheartedly. Stay in contact with me, guys. The YouTube link is on my Instagram page. So feel free to sign up to that. And if you are watching the full video, you're probably already on YouTube. So just click on it, subscribe, like, drop a comment. Tell me my voice is annoying or I look ugly. I have a receding hairline like my friend Andrew said. It is what it is, but I'd rather keep the conversation going. Like noted, guys, this is only a platform to talk in. Feel free to send the discussion links. Feel free to send questions. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a wonderful day.